Panther people, what up? Looking way ahead to the offseason, which we'll get here soon. I hear all you guys saying you're upset because the Raiders fired their head coach and GM. The Raiders, I say the Chargers fired their head coach and GM. Raiders fired their head coach and GM. Panthers fired their head coach. Scott Fitter is still here. I hope at the end of the year Scott Fitter is gone because it does feel like after reading the reports from Joe Person and Diana Rossini that he does seem to be a little bit of a Tepper yes guy puppet dude. Hopefully he's out if Tepper knows what's right and gets a new GM who gets his head coach and they do their own thing. Anyways, but speaking of the future, man, I was talking to Edgar Samingo and follow him on Twitter. I think it's at Panthers Analyst. He's convincing me about a defensive-minded head coach. And if we are going to go that route, there's no one else right now that I want than Ejiro Evero. Look at what he's doing with this team. He's more healthy now, but look at what he's doing with this team. When J.C. Horn was out, Shaq Thomas has been out all year. Brian Burns was out for times. Yeturgos Matos was out. C.J. Henderson's still out. Not that he's amazing, but he was out. And he's putting in guys. He's elevating guys like Troy Hill, who's been playing awesome. I hope he's on the team next year, and just making plays happen, and then keeping opposition offenses at bay to hopefully allow the offense to score points. And now they haven't been doing their portion here, but Ejiro Evero is doing his best with what he's got. Kind of like how he did with the Denver Broncos. He used that for a higher paying job with the Carolina Panthers. Maybe he's going to use that for a head coaching job in the future. Maybe the league will see that. Maybe the league will maybe still just see him as a guy who is on a 2 and what's our record? 2-11, 2-10 team. I don't know. I don't know if they're going to look at that. But he's a guy who I think I want to keep around because you can keep him, and then the defense is only going to get healthier with another year under Brian Burns' belt, Derek Brown's belt. J.C. Horn hopefully stays healthy. Shaq Thompson still there. Frankie Louvu. Add some more pieces as well in the draft or maybe in free agency. Maybe with a better offense, then these guys will hopefully get a rest and then actually can play to their potential. I could see that happening. And then, as Edgar said, and maybe I'll have him on the show eventually, but he knows how to stop everyday offenses in 2023 in the NFL. So then he can maybe find an offensive coordinator who knows how to make it difficult for defense. He can see that the best. He can see what kind of traits could pose a threat to NFL defense. So maybe he's the guy. I'm still in the offensive head coach mentality right now. And I think everyone who is all hot and heavy about Ben Johnson, I think it actually still happen. I honestly do. The Chargers have hired mainly first-time head coaches. And I think they're going to go the veteran route, a splashy route. I think that will be Bill Belichick. I honestly do. Because they literally just had a first-time head coach. And while Ben Johnson's doing great things with the Detroit Lions, there's a reason they hired their coach before this one. So the one that they just fired, right? So I can see Bill Belichick going to the Chargers. Sunny, it's nice, good facilities. They also want to build a culture because really and truly they're like the tenant in LA. They're not really. It's not really a Charger town. San Diego was a Charger town. The Raiders, I think they're going to keep Antonio Pierce. I truly do believe they're going to do that because he's galvanized his team. I think they saw what happened with the Carolina Panthers, not giving Steve Wilkes the reins, and look at us right now. I think they keep Antonio Pierce as the head coach. So that is 2 vacancies. That leaves the Panthers right now, currently, with a head coaching vacancy that I think someone like a Ben Johnson could go to, going back home to North Carolina. He has the first overall pick in Bryce Young. He has, his options, whoever his GM is, to make trades, to get draft picks, to pick up guys like a T. Higgins as a wide receiver 1, maybe get a Jameson Williams, bring him with you from Detroit, and now Bryce has his, his number 1 burner type wide receiver. I think that's a possibility. Some of the other openings that could happen in the future, the New England Patriots, I think they're going to give that to Jared Mayo. That's what I'm reading right now. So other openings, Washington Commanders. It could be Eric Bieniemy. I know we always hear issue about him and players, but I think Eric Bieniemy is probably going to be the head coach of the Washington Commanders. Who else could be firing a head coach? I think the Giants are going to keep theirs. The Jets are going to keep theirs. I think the Cardinals are going to keep theirs. Browns, Bengals, everyone's going to keep theirs. Packers, they're going to keep. Minnesota, they've been frisky. Falcons, I think they're going to keep theirs. Jags keeping. Yeah, to everyone. I don't know. Like, honestly, I truly like the Bills won big time in Dallas. Dallas could be an opening if they don't go far. Like, they got a lot of hype this year. They are the Toronto Maple Leafs of the NFL. as in most talked about, most affluent, still don't do anything. That could be an opening. But again, I don't think they'd give that to a first-time head coach. I really don't. I think they'd give it to someone who they might just elevate Dan Quinn. The other one, honestly, the most surprised one that could maybe happen is the Buffalo Bills if they don't make it to the Super Bowl or get to the AFC Championship game. I truly feel that could be enticing move. They've already fired their offensive coordinator, so that's normally the first move they start, letting people go to blame. So I don't know. I think if you guys are Ben Johnson people, I think he's one. And then the Frank Smith cat, the offensive coordinator with the Miami Dolphins. But either way, that's for another time. I just thought that was interesting to talk about because I'm just happy with everything that Joe Evero has done. The defense had 2 turnovers today. Xavier Woods with the interception, and then the fumble recovery with Brian Burns. Just the defense is a strength. And if you can just keep that continuity and it continues to be a strength and build on, make it even better next year, and all you got to do is complement them with an offense that is somewhat competent at an NFL level, I think the defense will finally get their breaks, their breathers, and then be even more dominant in the game when it goes later into the game. Because what we always see with this Panthers team this year is that the offense just doesn't give the defense any time. And then by the time it's the fourth quarter, Alvin Kamara, somebody breaks out for a big run, and then the game's over. The game's over. Just is unanswered points from the opposition team. So he's like my 1B, honestly. If it's not Ben Johnson and whoever else, but Ben Johnson's the main guy, mainly because also we just got a report from, I think, Jonathan Jones from CBS saying that David Tepper spent a lot of time with Ben Johnson's agent at the owners meeting this weekend. So he's already pitching. He's pitching, baby. He's not hiring a firm. And I just realized now he's talking to Ben Johnson's agent. It's not Scott Fitterer talking to Ben Johnson's agent. So maybe Scott Fitterer is out, even though he doesn't go to owners meetings, but maybe Scott Fitterer is out, Ben Johnson potentially, or whoever coach, and they hire their own GM. And then that's all she wrote. Anyways, that's just me freeballing right now. Anyways, Panthers win. We're now the first team to win just one game in this new expanded regular season schedule. Yay. Make sure to like, subscribe. Christmas just around the corner. Buy some merch. If you don't want to support Tepper, let me know. See you guys soon. I'm going to have a special guest talking to them this week, talking about off-season acquisitions. I like the way this kid thinks. I'm pretty sure he's 15 years younger than me, so he's probably going to speak English, but I'll be like, huh? But that's going to happen this week. Really excited for that. And then on to Green Bay in Charlotte, but it's really going to be like Green Bay. See you guys soon.